Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block, where we work to create an indoor space and environment that is free from toxins and supports your health and wellness. I do a weekly video for you guys, and oftentimes it covers a different toxin or a different area of your home, and this week is a little bit different. I want to share with you some encouragement, and I want to cheer you on while you are working to create a healthy indoor space as well. So I know that sometimes we can get stuck, sometimes we can get frustrated because we feel like we're at a standstill. I also know the feeling of when you think you've been doing something really positive for your space and for your family, and then you find out that it actually isn't that positive of a change, or it actually makes your space worse and more unhealthy. So I want to just kind of give you some encouragement. I want to share with you that we don't need to be scared. We don't need to feel overwhelmed. We can take some of those feelings and really use them to push us forward. I also want to encourage you that we don't need to change immediately. If there is something that you just cannot change at the moment, that's okay. And it's okay to just plan things out and change what you can. I think that there are some things that we read online and in different spaces that maybe make us feel scared and make us think that we need to change immediately, or we need to fix something in our space right away and throw things away and spend a lot of money. And I'm here to tell you that I don't think that's the case. I think that we can move forward where we can. Stress and that feeling of overwhelm and negative feelings can actually really hinder our health just as much as some of these toxins that are coming into our space. So I'm going to take you through some really positive, encouraging slides this week. They're quotes and thoughts that are based on this week's blog post. If you're someone who likes to read the blog post, I would encourage you to go to the link at the bottom of this video, and it will bring you to this week's blog post. Otherwise, I would love for you to hang out with me while we go through these slides.
Sometimes do you feel defeated trying to be healthy in a very unhealthy world? I know that confusion sets in when I find out something I've been doing, eating, or buying is actually awful for my body and my family. It's often after this confusion that I think I should just throw in the towel and go back to this ignorance is bliss mentality. It's what I've been thinking about a lot lately, and so I thought I'd use this space to give you some encouragement for a healthy home and a healthy space. In essence, to tell you that you're doing a good job and you are moving forward beyond those who have chosen an easier and more unhealthy path. So just like any change we try to make, it can be difficult. Change is hard. It takes a lot of willpower, brain power, and determination to make a change. And because of these three things, it can feel like you're stuck in place sometimes instead of moving forward. It's because the task of creating a healthy home is multifaceted and you're never really done, that this journey can feel long and draining. But that's what this bit of encouragement is for, really, to tell you that you can keep creating a healthy home no matter how long you're stuck on one task, because each small step gets you closer. A healthy home isn't a destination. Instead, really, it's a mindset shift and a celebration of positive changes that you've made. I've read a few things floating around that might instill a fear that you need to change immediately. And I say, yes, change what you can as soon as you can, but worry and stress about it tracks you backwards. Anything that makes you feel worried, you can actually move to use forward, but only if you focus on the positive change that can come from it. The encouragement here is that you can be informed and educated on home toxins without it ever leading to worry. A healthy home is possible even if toxins are present. No healthy home will ever be perfect. You change as much as you can, and then look for more positive changes to work towards. The truth is, if you're here, you're doing great. Whether you've just learned to change your home environment or you've been on this journey for a while, you're on the right path. For many of us, I think we're working through changing habits and ways of thinking that we adopted as young people or as kids in our own homes. Creating a healthy house is much different now than it was even 5 years ago. And the fact that you're keeping up on this topic and you're willing to change years of programming and habits speaks volumes. It means you're aware that you need to make changes, and this is one of the first steps, I think, to creating a healthy home. It's kind of like the age-old statement, acceptance is the first step. Acknowledging that there are places you can improve your healthy home environment leaves you with the opportunity to do just that, improve your space. If you're working to break a family habit or a family cycle of an unhealthy environment, you should give yourself a pat on the back. It's a sign that you've not only started educating yourself on home toxins, but you've also recognized that you can do better. One thing to remember is that setbacks can happen. A setback can come in a variety of ways. I think the most common way is discovering a new way in which we are currently not making the healthiest choice for our home space. This realization can often send us spiraling backwards. We thought we were making such great headway and we thought we had made such a positive change, only to find out that there are more changes that we need to master. This frustration can lead to a halt in progressive thinking and positive changes, but I think the good news is that often it's just temporary. Most of the time, it takes a short amount of time for us to turn it around and get back to reducing toxins and making changes. The second way that I see setbacks is when we regress back to an old way of thinking or an old style of living, kind of like falling off the bandwagon. It does happen and we all slide backwards. Some of us do it in particular seasons of our life due to busyness. And if this is the case for you, it might be time to reevaluate your habits and make sure that they're truly sustainable, even in those busy seasons. This is why I love the layered approach to creating a healthy house. Each small change you make should be a sustainable part of your routines and habits. Once it's solidified in your routine, meaning that it's second nature and you don't necessarily even think about it anymore, you can add another small change. The next change should follow the same rule, and then don't even think about adding another habit or lifestyle change until it's second nature. As you keep going, you may have a habit that's tougher to break than others, and maybe that's when you see a backslide. But the important thing is to keep going, and if you can move forward, try to just maintain the lifestyle and spot you're currently in. One of the biggest ways I think that we can really help ourselves is to understand and know toxins inside and out. The more you know, the better equipped you are to make a change and a decision on the fly. Sometimes we don't have time to do research, and sometimes we don't have the ability to overanalyze what's going on. Instead, we have to just act. So in understanding the health concerns and negative effects of various toxins, you can be encouraged to make a positive choice and steer clear from a particular toxin. It gives you confidence in making decisions about products and habits without having to stop and analyze the situation. I'm the first to admit that sometimes trying to stay really informed on toxins and habits can be confusing, and I'm going to share with you why. So many times we talk about homes as if it's a one-size-fits-all. Just like our bodies, our homes are incredibly unique based on the mechanics, the exterior climate, the foundation, and even the materials inside. And this means that a recommendation for one house may just not be ideal for another healthy home. It can mean that you see a lot of conflicting advice about recommendations for your own home. What I think is so unique is that you can actually pick and choose different ideas and methods and customize the plan that works for your own home. It's why I created a unique starting page that will give you topics based on what you're looking to learn. So how do you stick with all of these changes? With all the encouragement, it can make the job of creating a healthy home easier and feel less burdensome. There really isn't an end goal with a healthy home. It's not something that you attain. The same is true of healthy habits and spaces at home. Once you change your mindset to this way of thinking, that this way of living you're doing it, once you change your mindset to this idea, that is when your new way of living becomes easier. I think when we look at a healthy home in terms of a final destination, it can actually lead to feelings of frustration that you're not reaching your goal fast enough. That being said, there are some instances where you have to create a plan and some items to check off. This is very beneficial. Creating goals and plans for a specific project in your home can help you stay on track. It could be things like replacing your flooring or installing a thermostat. These things are tangible and have accomplished dates. Other things that you might do are a little less tangible, things like making healthier home purchases or ventilating your home. It's more of a lifestyle change that you can still stick with. Another way that you can stick with the idea of changing your lifestyle to benefit your home's health is to surround yourself with positive influences. I love following those that inspire me on social media and particularly Instagram. Not only do I get so much information, but sometimes when I'm least expecting it, I scroll through my feed and there I see just the idea or encouragement I needed in regards to healthy habits. You can also subscribe to top podcasts or a newsletter that sends information and tips about creating a healthy space. It helps because these often come right to your inbox and remind you of your healthy choices, even when you are not thinking of them. And if you're having trouble moving forward with your healthy home journey because you're stuck or confused about a particular area, it's time to ask for help. I create plans all the time for families who are simply stuck at a spot and don't know how to move forward next. With my resources in your back pocket, you can get an idea of what the next step is and how to get there. And if you're looking for more help, you can head to my blog post or my Start Here page. It has some really tangible ways for you to keep up with the good work you're already doing. Those links are in the bottom of my video description and you can head there.
You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am so happy you're here. If you are someone who is working towards creating a healthy indoor space, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I have a new video every single week that covers a different area of your healthy house. It could be a toxin, it can be a room. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment here or send me an email. Otherwise, I will be back next week with another healthy house tip.